Hello, /Steve here, Gaming Legend. Today, welcome to the first episode of Crossy Road Revision. Can I play pecking order and get myself into the top 10 while revising GCSE Computer Science at the same time? If you think this concept is amazing, go and subscribe. Tell me in the comments what you want me to revise, and also hit like, please. If this concept works, I will make more revision videos in the medium of Crossy Road. Right. How do we remember the registers of the processor? Well, I like to tell myself a crazy story, which helps me remember those things. And here goes my crazy story now. I woke up this morning and I said, got up and went out to work, and I waved to my neighbour Margie on the way out. I said, "See you, Margie, Ma, M-A-R, my new address register." I asked how her daughter was getting on because her daughter's just qualified as a police constable, a PC, the program counter. Now I jumped on the bus. What was unusual about getting on the bus today was the driver normally wears trousers, was wearing a dress. It was the address bus. It gets worse. So I jumped onto the address bus and I was taken to the bus station. But at the bus station, I had to get off because the address bus was only going one way, and I had to change to another bus. I changed to another bus, and on that bus I got invited to a party. It was a date for the diary, the data bus. And then I'll maybe way to school. When I got to school, though, a terrible thing had happened. There was a big scene. There'd been a murder, MDR. There was police tape everywhere. There was an absolute circus, CIR, of investigation. And then they were setting up lights, and the lights were illuminated. This is really dodgy. Illuminated ALU, arithmetic logic unit. And then, it actually happened, ACC, the accumulator.
I'm now starting to get far too excited in this game, so cue the voiceover from me and a few pictures to help us out. So, what was I doing with my story? This story is going to help me draw a diagram. Let's draw that diagram now. First up, I put the memory address register down, Margie, and her daughter was a police constable, the program counter. Then I got onto the address bus and went to main memory. From main memory, I came on the data bus where I got that date for the diary into school where there'd been a murder. The murder, MDR, the memory data register, then handed over to the circus. It was an absolute circus, the CIR, the current instruction register, which then goes into the ALU. The ALU is a different shape because it's a unit, not a register. The ALU then hands over to the accumulator. It actually happened, and then that would pass back into the memory data register. With an additional little arrow, I can give 2 jobs for everything because the program counter feeds into the memory address register, giving it the next instruction to locate. It's then incremented by the ALU. The memory address register receives from the program counter and hands over to the address bus. The address bus takes from the memory address register and goes and finds the location in memory. It's unidirectional, but remember, it's one way. The RAM is the storage where data is stored. The data bus is told where the location is by the address bus and then takes that data to the MDR. It also takes the data from the MDR back to main memory. The MDR, the memory data register, holds instructions that have come back from memory and also holds things to send back to memory. The memory data register hands over to the current instruction register. The current instruction register passes on to the ALU, the arithmetic logic unit. The arithmetic logic unit would then hand off to the accumulator, the ACC, and then the accumulator will put it back to the memory data register before it went back into main memory again. So by telling a story, I can remember the registers and also allow me to give 2 jobs that each register does. Right, let's get back to the game. Your job now is to make your own memorable story or steal mine so you can draw this diagram and answer your exam questions.
Gaming Legend. So I hope you appreciate the concept of that story and the idea that it lets me recall those registers and lets me do, revise quite a lot of, I'm shaking. I think that person there is first in the world. I think I might be in first place here. I don't know. I'd like to say big shout out to all my fans, all those people who are now going down and smashing the subscribe button, telling their crazy story about the memory address register, the program counter, etc., and letting themselves be able to recall those things in order to understand more what the processor does. I'd also recommend, and I can do a clip on this if people are interested, going into Little Man Computer and having a little play with Little Man Computer and watching how assembly code works, etc. It is super interesting. Please don't be, put off by the idea you've got to learn all these words. It can be quite simple if you tell yourself a story, as I have pointed out. And please make your own stories up. Even post a story in the comments which is better than mine, which would be particularly difficult, related to your real life. I've finished talking about revision now. I'm just going to continue to be a gaming legend. This is possibly heading towards my highest Crossy Road score ever. And not only am I going to be a gaming legend, I'm actually also have taught you something at the same time as becoming Crossy Road legend. Oh, I'm still alive, No! It's getting fast. Foster Steve, gaming legend. First in the world! Drop the dial! Woo! Don't forget to revise. Gaming is just for a short break. Foster Steve, gaming legend. Drop the dial.